All right. We are going to get started. So let me just share the link. Oh, okay, hold on. I am going to be starting here shortly. And we'll just go with the flow. We will go with the flow and see how far we go. I was just telling Adrian that I'm using the data from my phone. And so I actually don't know how long that will take us. So, just going with the flow. Oh, that's too long. Okay. Okay. So, not going to stress. We're just going to go with the flow. And start. Copy. And that one there too. I've never shared this particular topic, and so I am excited. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, just going to share that here. Nope, just going to keep it simple. Okay. Because I'm also going through a lot of body stuff. And I do share this when I do get my period. I'm just completely like, that's a big clearing for me. And I have to continually honor my body when it, or whatever it needs. And so we're going to go with the flow. I'm going to share as much information about this topic, and I trust that whatever I am able to share, for as long as we have the internet, then it's perfect. I also want to share that if you guys would like to join us later today, I'm going to do a second part of this workshop. We'll go the second part. I want to interact a little bit more with you guys. The exercise that I will be sharing here with you guys, we will be expanding on it. And so I only have about 11 spots for the second part so that I can go through each and every single one of you, go through some of the things that you did in the exercise, and then expand from there. So if you guys would like to join for the second part, it's only 25. The price exchange, and then if you'd like to do the second part and the whole week of support, then that's 55. The coupon code is W50, W lowercase 50, for those that would only like to join us for the second part of the workshop. And so if you are here on YouTube, I already put the links to that in the comments below. And you're also welcome to go to my website for more information. Actually, Patreon for more information, because I do have it on Patreon. Let's get started. So, welcoming to From Duality to Polarity to Unity. Sounds kind of a mouthful. And when I was kind of feeling into the title, this is what came through. So, the first part that I want to open up to is the duality portion of it. Because last night I was literally tossing and turning. My body was going through so much energetically. I could feel um, it. I was exhausted, but my body was moving so much energy last night. And so it required movement. I was doing a little bit of like one of those the massage that goes like this. I don't know how you call it. I know you told me, Adrian. Like this, you go like this, kind of like drumming, like you're drumming down my calves. And then I put my massage pad that I got that I'm super excited. I'll share more of that later because there was so much movement. Tapodement. Thank you. Yes, I knew you had told me once. Um, yeah, there was so much energy moving through me that I had to like move it to myself physically. Anyway, and so with all of there was so much going on, the body was going through, but I was also being shown different things about what this workshop was going to be all about. Oh no, this is not the sorry, this one is what this workshop was going to be about. And I got this beautiful image of this compass. And it was like, this is our new compass. And I saw this beautiful compass, kind of like it. I love this image. So I'm sharing this with you guys. I love this image. I got this beautiful compass image. And I was showed so many things yesterday about this. And it was just super cool. I was doing them myself. I was like working through it. And it was fascinating too, because I was going like, I'm like, I want to just peace and quiet because I was exhausted. I worked physically. I go to my part-time job and going through my period, I was in so much pain. Long story short, I got home and I'm like, I just want peace and quiet so I can rest and relax. But I had there was someone on the phone and so that was one thing that I could hear. For me, it was a little too loud for what I was going through. And then a neighbor was having a party, and they were all super loud and singing. And I'm going, okay, what the hell? Um, so it was really interesting because I was going through um, my own welcome. If you're here, welcome, welcome. I don't want to mispronounce your name, so I'm just going to say Day. Welcome to our workshop. Um, so I was going through this myself yesterday. I was going through the compass and I was going through this exercise, and I don't know how long it took. Um, but all of a sudden, it's like conversation ended, music died down, and I was like, oh, finally. And I was also like, oh, this worked. This compass, this new compass that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. It's about, we're going to be talking about duality from the linear. So this is where this image comes in. When we see a compass, we see west, east, north, and south. Okay. I want you to feel I want you to kind of picture this the west and the east, because it's this horizontal line. That's going to be our duality point. Okay. What's duality? Simple. It's the energy of this yes, no, good, bad, right, wrong, right, negative, positive. Okay. So this is a line of duality. One of the biggest things that came through for me about this energy is that this is where this is the heaviest energy, right? We kind of feel that as we've opened up wherever you are in your journey, we started to see a little bit more about the rules, right? All of these rules that are laid out in the 3D consciousness world. We call it 3D matrix, call it a whole bunch of different names. It's a whole bunch of rules, right? This is good, this is bad. This is right, this is wrong. In that energy, there's a lot of judgment, which is basically what duality is all about, right? The judgment we hold. And part of what was coming through for me yesterday, as we were opening up to this, is that it goes quite deep. A lot of what I've been seeing and a lot of what's been coming through for me is that this is going to be a really big, deep one to continually open up to, because sometimes we don't know. Well, we definitely don't know what we don't know. We don't know how much we're still in this energy, the judgment, the duality, there's the I need to do this, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't think this, I need to think only good thoughts or only think positive things. And there's so much more to that I want to open you up right now. There's so much more to just keeping within the perception and the beliefs that keeps you in this duality. This is good, this is bad. I need to do this, I cannot do this. Okay. What starts to happen, and I also have this image for that. Where is it? Is that this balance? It's like the scales. Okay. When we put too much emphasis on one or the other, you're completely off balance. Right? The key here is that we need to go both ways. We need to be able to expand. When we expand, you actually expand left, right, up, down, which is part of why I love the compass image. And I'll explain a little bit more. But right now we're in this east to west, right, left, right. When you expand, it's from both sides. You don't just expand on one side. You expand equally towards both sides. Okay, so this will be a shift, and I invite you to open up. Just open up, just breathe, take it in. I'm going to go back to the compass here with what I just mentioned, the expansion point. The center of your compass is where we have to continually be to receive more light. See it like a pillar of light. Your pillar of light can come, the strongest amount of light that you can receive is from the center point. When you're in your center point, you're connected to this pillar of light that brings more light into you. And this is the point where you want to allow yourself to expand from. Right? So first and foremost is like your conscious breathing is your first and foremost thing that you want to continually focus on, right? Breathe. Breathe into your whole body. Breathing light into your whole body. Right? As you continue to breathe more, become more, it's like you want to be more comfortable in this breathing more light, then you're going to be able to bring your light and have your light with you as you expand into the world of opposites, into the world of duality, the judgment, and so forth. So again, duality simple. Duality just is this opposite. I want to bring it through polarity too, and I will do that right now. The east and west that I shared is your duality. It's like your duality point line. This is more of the judgment line. Okay. The polarity, the black and white, yes. Black and white, yes, no, yes. Right. It's there's like no in between. It's either this or that. Right? There's no in between. In fact, it's like, well, that I just said that it's either or. It's never both. When in reality, it's always both. And it's always everything in between too. Yeah, no shades of gray. So it's very strict. It's very strict. It's very this or that, this or the other, no in between. And the rigidity and the tightness and how constricting that is it goes against our light, it goes against our flow, it goes against the flow of your body, it goes against everything that you are, which is why it's been tough and rough here. You know, this is why we've been living with so much limitations and so much restrictions. And this is just how it is. Let's move into the north-south. And the picture was like too big, so there was not enough. Can't see the letters, but you guys know north and south. This is more of the polarity line. Okay. When we talk about polarity is when I was feeling into this, the polarity is more about the opposites, but without the judgment. Right? So duality is more the judgment, and there's a lot of judgment energy in the duality line. But in the polarity line, it's just opposites. So you can take everything that that's opposites and put it in this polarity line. But it's going to be more of like, it's going to be more of the energy without the judgment attached. So polarity, like literally like north and south. Okay, this is the north side of the planet. This is the south part of the planet. It's so interesting that right now that I don't have the actual letters. It's actually because everything's flipping. So right now in this, it's like I don't even know which way is south and which way is north. And that's because our magnetism is changing. That's because everything is reverting right now. So it's actually really fascinating. And this is what's coming through right now that I'm like, I don't even know where south is. I don't even know where north is. And that's because internally everything is shifting and everything is flipping upside down. So this is south and this is north, which is really interesting, which is also why this image was so perfect. And I just went with the flow and I'm like, you know what? Doesn't matter. Even if you can't see the N and the S, this was like the image that came through for me. And now I understand. I understand why. I see why. The polarity is more of this opposite, but without the judgment part, right? So this is black, this is white, but it just is. It's the energy that keeps us in this. It's just what it is, right? This part is this side is this. And one of the biggest things that I also saw is moving from one to the other is super, super important. Okay, so there's a lot of things that we still hold within this duality line. but there's a lot of things also that we hold within this polarity line. And so the new compass, the way to use this new compass is that I saw yesterday was you to use all sides, is to go through your linearity, your duality line, and also go through your polarity line. I call it polarity effect because that's how you expand even more. When you are able to see and feel the things that you're still in judgment about and go into both sides, both angles, see both angles, or start to see them from at least two angles, and then obviously that'll expand, and then go into the polarity, which are the aspects that's like the aspects that a little bit less of a judgment, right? The parts where it's just like, this is more what I was seeing yesterday. This is more of like the different aspects of yourself that are in this. So let's take freedom, for example. Okay. It's the part of you that wants freedom, but it's the part of you that doesn't want freedom. These are going to be the polar opposite sides of you that are still kind of in this, yes, I'm ready. I want it. I am open to it. But it's going to be the other side, completely polar opposite side. That's like, no, actually, that's too scary for me. Freedom is too much. What if I can't handle it? I don't want it. I want to keep being in this little box, this little comfort zone. So polar opposites of that theme that exists within you is going to be more of this polarity effect to also go into. So again, the compass, and it was fascinating, as I was mentioning earlier yesterday, or I was mentioning earlier when I was in bed yesterday and I was going through this, I was seeing the compass and I could see myself going through all directions, of what I was feeling in that moment when so loud, it was the music and then people talking, and it was just like, okay, let's do this, like let's take this example and work with it. And so I was going through all the different lines and the different directions, and it was actually it was fascinating. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, I'm going through all of these different. I'm going through my judgment, the duality, and then I'm going through the polarity of it all. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. And again, within, I don't know. I time is just completely gone. Linear time. Might have been 5 minutes, a little bit more. And the noise just dissolved. It went away. The conversation ended. The music, it's so fascinating because they actually lowered the music. Like they lowered the volume. Because I could still hear it. But I was like, oh, they lowered the volume for me. Yes. And then and then I passed out, and I don't know if I passed out before they just completely ended their music, the music, or if I passed out and then afterwards I actually don't remember that part. But again, I was going through my compass, and I was going through again the linear, the duality line, and the polar, and working through all of these 4 points. I'm just going to keep it to 4 points because I want to keep it simple. but know that there's way more than 4 points. Working through these 4 points is super important. And again, going back to the duality point, the duality line, allowing yourself to go down both sides of the line, because there's still a lot of judgment within ourselves and within what we believe. And I want to open you up to everything is energy. The more that you continue to connect to everything as energy, the less or the more you'll start to remember that there is nothing to fear. Why? Because you are energy. And so what's actually happening is that anything that you are afraid of, okay, because everything is energy at its core, then what that thing that's coming through that you're in fear of is actually an aspect of you that you're afraid of. It's an aspect of you with this really big, ugly mask that is coming in front of you, and you completely have disconnected from it so much that you perceive it to be separate from you. Okay. Fear expands from separation. The bigger the separation, the bigger the gap between that thing that you fear and yourself, the bigger the fear. The more you allow yourself to breathe more light, the less separated you will feel about that which scares you, until you start to open up, until you start to see it face to face, and you start to take off that mask, and you start to see that it's just an aspect of you. And everything changes. There's no longer that fear. You are no longer fearful about yourself, about this aspect of you. Now it's about having a conversation with it. Now it's about opening up to it, feeling it, right? What's going on? Allowing yourself to feel those emotions that this particular aspect was not allowed to feel or did not get to feel. All of these different things that distorted its image so much that you saw it as different and separate than you. And then, of course, it's the integration, it's the unification, it's all of these different things that allow you to unify, that allow you to live through that unity, which is the path for every single one of us. We're all here to come back to ourselves. We're all here to come back to this oneness. We're all here to experience duality points, and we're here to experience the polarity effect. And through that center point, as we continue to open up and expand our consciousness through those 4 points, then we get to evolve. We get to transcend, and we get to experience a completely different reality and a completely different world. So that's actually, I went from duality, then I went to polarity, and then I went to unity. This is our new compass that I was gifted with. I saw yesterday. Oh, where it is. I want us to play with this. I invite you to play with this on your own as well. Open yourself up to, it's interesting because when we look at a compass, okay, when we look at where we want to go, right? If we want to go to this particular place, like this specific place, right? This state or this country, we kind of look at it as, okay, that's our destination, right? We're going to go north, right? Um, and we forget that in order to get where we're going, now talking more about like the grandiose spectrum of things, it's not a straight line that gets us there. And I'm sure you guys have seen like different visuals, different memes where it's like, it's not a clear cut to get to point A, to get from point A to point B. It's the straight line. It's never like that. It's the squiggly line that takes you all around and all that. Takes you to every, it takes you to, it takes you to go into many directions or to go through many directions to actually get there. Mm. And so, in order for us to continually open up to where we see ourselves, right? Where we actually all are here to bring peace, right? Heaven, new earth, all of these different terms. We must open up to going all directions. So we're going to have to go east to west, north, south, southeast, southwest, and all and everything in between. It's not a clear-cut path. And I feel it a lot with this, you know, the tendency, and it's a phase, by the way, that we all go through, of this continuing to neglect and reject the, oh, this is a negative, this is bad, this is wrong. Only focus on the good, only focus on saying positive things to yourself or saying all of these different things. It's, you're going to have to go both ways. You're going to have to expand into both directions and open up to everything that's held within the good bad duality line, because there's aspects of yourself that are going to be in both sides. So coming back to this little balance here. There's so many aspects that are still inside of ourselves that are living from this space of this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong, that we have yet to connect to, that we have yet to come in contact, that we have yet to integrate. And I want to remind you that this is completely and totally quantum. So it's not this, oh, I need to, you know, look into my judgment, go through this like the duality line and then go through the polarity line. This is about you following where to go. And the biggest thing is that when you stay, as you continue to stay in your center, the center of the compass, breathing more light into you, you'll know exactly where to go. You'll know, okay, Do I have to look at this polarity in me that says, yeah, it wants this, but doesn't want this? And then go into that. Okay, and then do I need to go into this judgment? The judgment inside of me that says, yeah, you need to do this because you mustn't do this. And then you go into that. Everything's quantum here. This isn't a rule book that says you need to do this and then this and then this and then this, because in the quantum world and in the energy world, it's not as cutthroat as that. It's not like that at all. Everything, every experience is different. Everyone will be different. Everyone is working through so many different things. And the biggest thing that I always say is the more you connect, the more you breathe your light, the more you anchor and connect to all parts of yourself and all parts of your body, the more you're going to know exactly where to go and what to do. You'll know how to do it. You'll know when to do it. I know there's a lot of confusion in that as well. A lot of frustration too. And you're not alone by all means. And it's not just you. We're feeling this collectively. So many changes, so many different things, so many emotions pouring out of us. The other thing about something came through earlier, but there's so much that's happening right now that it will have you bounce from one emotion to the complete opposite emotion. I call it the roller coaster rides. And there's also there's a term we've coined about this extremes in emotions, where it's like in one moment you're in this extreme and then the other moment you're in this other extreme. The biggest thing to open up to is that one, it's actually really normal. One of the other things that also came through yesterday is this lukewarm energy, where it's like this perception that in order to be balanced, you need to be in control of your emotions, control of your thoughts, control of this, and control of that. And it keeps you within this boundary that doesn't allow you to go into the extremes. And I'm going to just openly, say that it is important to go into the extremes. However, it's just as important, or it's actually really, really important for you to keep within your center. So going back to the compass, staying within the center of your compass and this pillar of light, breathing more light, because you're going to need a lot of light to go into the extremes, because it's going to get very extreme in every sense of the energy. We're starting to feel it. A lot of people are starting to feel this emotionally, with this like extreme bouncing back of extreme emotions. Or it's also this well, it's actually the same thing, but it's like feeling super good, super high. Oh my God, everything's just beautiful. And then the next thing, you're just completely, crying, bawling, crying your eyes out in this very extreme emotional phase. And I've gone through those phases for years now. Again, it's the roller coaster ride of emotions. And part of what's happening is that your body is expanding to the extreme opposites. Why? Because as you continue to expand, like I mentioned, sideways, up, down, forward, back, That's how your bubble grows. This is how your energetic field grows. This is how you're able to hold more light. This is how you're able to expand. Allowing yourself to go into those opposites, allowing yourself to go into those extremes. Now, when I started to go into the extremes, it wasn't overnight. Like it's a process. And so I want you to open up in a way like slowly, but I know it's not slowly, I know it's quantum, into more and more and more of this energy of this duality line. I'll explain a little bit more in the exercise so that eventually you'll get to a point where you'll start to connect to the extremes of both sides in a way that doesn't frighten you, in a way that you are so connected to your light, so connected to your center, and so balanced inside that you know it's just an energy. It's just an energy that needs to be let out. These thoughts, these images, this internal dialogue that's going on, it's just energy. It needs to be released. It needs to be flushed. Okay. A lot of the times that will happen a lot more in the like unconscious. You're not really fully aware of what's happening until you become a little more aware and more conscious of like, whoa, that those are extreme things and extreme thoughts and extreme visuals, but it's just energy. As you allow yourself to anchor more within your body, it's going to be a lot easier to go through that. So, I do want to bring through this exercise for all of you guys. We'll be working with the duality line for right now. And so if you want to do this with us right now, you can do it later. We'll expand a little bit more into this for the second part of the workshop for anybody that would like to join us. If you are here on YouTube, I'm not checking YouTube. I just shared it. I do have the live stream, and then I put in the comments the information for anybody that would like to join us, either just for the second part of the session, part of the workshop, or the whole week support that I will be doing. Yeah, not able to check YouTube right now, guys. So you're welcome to join us inside Zoom. Play with this. Open yourself up to this. On a sheet of paper, you can actually draw this too. Draw the line with the two arrows. The two arrows means that it is infinite. Oh. Okay. This is an infinite journey. This is an infinite process. It's infinite. The biggest thing about that is the more we allow ourselves to open up to this energy, the more we allow ourselves to open up to everything that's still in judgment inside and everything that's still very dualistic inside of us, and see it and feel it, breathe through it, connect, go through the gazillion processes. The more excited you will become about seeing more. Okay. The ego gets stuck in this, oh my God, when is this going to end? Oh my God, how much more do I have to do? How much deeper do I have to go? Oh my God, I already went through this. Like there's still this judgment about this whole process. It's very normal. We all go through that. In fact, I still have aspects inside of me that are in that energy. Okay. The biggest thing is that you do dissolve a lot of those. So it becomes more of this polarity effect where it's like, this is the opposite of my light aspect. It is what it is. I just have to continue to see it. I have to continually open up to it. And I want to continue to connect to see more. I want to see more. I want to know more about me and about all these things that I had no idea were inside of me. So it just becomes this like, ooh, yes, I want to know more. I want to see more because this is who I am. You are consciousness embodied, your consciousness in form. What does consciousness do? It just becomes more conscious. It just expands more and more and more into more consciousness, and it expands into more. This is who we are, and this is what we do. And this is what we will continue to do until eternity. So, this duality line is to bring you into um, deeper layers of that judgment. So, play with this. You can pick anything. You can pick any theme, any word, any aspect, whatever it is. Again, we'll let's see. We talked about freedom, so we can continue to that. We can continue. I can continue to utilize this freedom. Okay. The duality is you're either in the jail cell or you're outside of it. And so that may not be the best example. See if I feel into something else. It's this right wrong. Like I wanted to keep it simple. Going back to this right wrong. The right wrong, the negative positive. The thing is that technically speaking, anything that you can do, you can choose anything, you can choose any energy aspect of your reality or aspect of yourself, and you can go through the duality line where you're still holding judgment and the polarity line, polarity effect. So anything goes. You can choose anything at all. And in those bubbles, so I want you to kind of put a bubble. You can put a bubble below the line. This is yours to just play with. But the biggest thing is to write from both ends things that need to come out, even new realizations. You guys, actually, if you guys would like to share a theme or topic that you would like to choose, either for yourself or just for me to play with, um, you're more than welcome to. I I feel like I'm not getting anything because maybe I'm supposed to ask you guys. So if you guys are here in Zoom with me, you're more than welcome to share. The more things you write within this exercise, the better. Letting more and more things and more things and more things out of you. Because that's always going to be super duper duper important. Really allow yourself to see more and work more. Okay, that's perfect. So, if you don't mind, I'll share that. Freedom from family. And obviously everyone will, doesn't matter how it's, that how that connects to you. There is a lot of the attachments, right? There's a lot of old beliefs too about family, blood family, so many different roles with that. And allowing ourselves to start freeing ourselves from the old cords, excuse me, from the heaviness, from the attachments, from the distortions, from the contracts within our families. Actually, it's something that we all go through, that we will all go through at some point. So, feeling into this, the judgment, okay, within this duality line. This is where a lot of the old 3D, old consciousness perceptions, beliefs come through. Okay. So on one end, we have the you always have to be there for family. Family comes first. Family, you always have to be loyal, always have to be there, always have to, XYZ with the family, right? You owe this. You always have, you're indebted. That would be on one side. And then we'll go into the opposite end. And I maybe touch on a little bit of the extreme where it's like we want out. So again, this is quantum. The opposite of that feels this, and I might be tuning into your energy too. This escapism, this running away, this, it's actually this kind of this love and hate relationship that we actually all have. The love and hate. So that could also be, those themes do play out in this. So putting the love and the hate on both ends. The feeling the remorse, feeling into the guilt, feeling into the shame, the judgment, the what are other people going to say? What are other people going to think? Right now, with what I'm saying, this all kind of ties. This could be in either direction. This could be in either side. Right now, what I'm seeing, because this is not linear, because this is super quantum, you might want to just put some things in the middle to represent this could be in either side. Allow yourself to just play with this. There's not, this isn't a rule book, this isn't a rules. This is rule, this, you have to do it this way. You have to write it in this way. You have to write this on this side and then this on the other side. It doesn't work like that. It's quantum. There is no right or wrong. And if you do get caught up in that, then feel it, because it's obviously being activated, and it's very important that it does get activated inside of you, because then you're going to start to see how you've been functioning from this. If you start to notice that you're functioning from this, oh, where do I put this? Oh, what if I put it on the wrong side? What if I do? That will grant you the opportunity to see that you've been functioning from this at a very, very, very deep core level in every aspect of your reality. And so this is very, very important for each and every single one of us because we don't know how deep we've been functioning from this, how deep this goes. And so this exercise and any other exercise that we do in this journey it allows us to see more of ourselves. When you are able to see how you respond or how you react to just doing this exercise, it's going to open up a door and a window so that you can start to see how you've been reacting in the same way in all of these other different aspects of your reality. So it's very normal. Breathe, just open up, just put a whole bunch of bubbles all over the paper. If you feel a little more like whatever allows you to feel more calm and more open during this exercise, do. Okay. So I actually might have time to do the next part or portion of it. We'll just oh, okay. Okay. So after you do that, do have a couple comments. I will reply to the comments at the very end. And that's the other one that I saw. So the polarity effect. So working through the polarity effect and going through, you can also do, you can draw the line, you don't have to draw the line. Everything works, right? When you go into the polarity, if you didn't do it in the duality through when you were doing it, doing the duality line exercise, then allowing yourself to work, open up to deeper aspects of yourself in this, I want this, I don't want this. So with the freedom, full freedom from family, working and feeling those aspects that do want it and working through aspects that don't. Too afraid to let go. I'm ready. I don't care. I'm doing it. Oh my God. What if I do? What if they all abandon me? Like all these what ifs, all of these, what if I do? What if I don't? I really want this, but maybe it's a 50% of me wants it. The other 50% doesn't. It's too scared. It's the fear. It's the fear. It's the resistance. It's also the emotional. We'll go into like the emotional of feeling into everything. And again, just throwing it all in this pot. There is, right now, it feels like it might be a little too confusing for the mind to like try to figure out which side. Just, just allow yourself to fill the whole paper and just allow yourself to write it out, say it out loud if you need to. It all has to come out. This is part of the reason why it's so important for you to honor both sides. Because as you continue to open up and express Give yourself permission to express. Give those aspects inside of yourself to express and to say whatever they did not feel, they were not, um, they didn't get to express, they didn't feel they could express. You did not give yourself permission to express these things. The more that you allow yourself to open up to that, the more energy flows. This is all about allowing energy flow. If you don't remember anything else, remember this. This is about allowing your energy to flow, allowing the words, whatever. I'll play with this, right? The negative, the really hard, the really harsh words, thoughts, images. Their energy. They need to flow. They need to be released. And you are being granted the opportunity to become more conscious of them so that you can bring more light consciously into yourself. And the more light you have inside of you, the faster that energy shifts, the faster that energy flows. But if you keep in this tightness, I shouldn't say that, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't, think that, only good thoughts, only positive thoughts, you are restricting the flow. You are restricting your own flow. You're keeping everything bound to a space inside of you that at some point and at some level will no longer be able to hold on to it. But right now, that these things, these emotions, these thoughts are coming out of you, you are granting yourself the freedom that you are. You are this. You always will be, and you always have been. But we forget, right? We all forget. Just part of the experience, just part of what it is, part of what we came here to experience. And now it's about becoming more conscious about what we do experience, about what we're meant to experience, about what we choose to experience. Every single thing that we will continue to see, to go through, there's a purpose. Nothing just happens by accident. Nothing just happens because the world is mean and ugly. There's a bigger purpose for everything. And so allowing yourself the opportunity to see more is important. The way that you see more is the more energy flow you allow, right? Simple. Keep it simple. So I'm gonna quickly comment on a few things that came through. I'm just popping into YouTube because I guess I can now. Hi Forrest, you're still here. Welcome. Thanks for being here. That's me all the time. I'm not exactly what I don't know exactly what you're referring to, but that's us. That's everything that I mentioned. It's like, yeah, we've been there. EMJ, thank you for the love shaded the bubbles. I love the bubbles too. Um, so the soft hard plus the yin yang to balance it. Oh, this soft to hard. That may be what you're referring to. And the yin yang to balance it. Let's see what comes through from this. And if you would like to elaborate, if you are still here, if you'd like to elaborate a little bit more, that might support. I'll share this a little bit again with the balance. When I was showing the compass, right? Staying in the middle is the balance point to allow ourselves to open up to first. This is the breathing consciously. This is the connecting back to your breathing, connecting back to your breath, and just allowing. And then allowing yourself to open up to all of these different points, all of these different directions of the duality and the polarity. So it will be the soft hard, maybe. It will be the extremes. It will be the black white with the yin yang. It'll be the black white, the good bad, the right wrong, the ego. It will be more of the ego versus ego, but you will also start to connect to the ego and light, the dark and the light. The light, however, is still more in the middle. This is about seeing everything through your light, which is part of the reason why I mentioned it's so important to keep yourself in the center, breathing more consciously, because this will allow you to feel more supported and feel more anchored as you continue to turn to the left, turn to the right, turn to the center, or turn to again, using the left, right, forward, back compass. This will allow you to see from all different angles much clearer, from a much open, a much expansive. One of the things that we've been doing, and it's also kind of a visual that came through, was we step away from the center and we become too invested on just this side. So when we talk about the duality, wherever it is, because we're in this yes, no, right, wrong, we've tended to go to the extreme of just one side, right? We've rejected the opposite side. We've said, oh, no, can't be that. I have to, change my words, change my thoughts. That's too negative. That's too heavy. And so we've been so invested on one side and have completely rejected, neglected, and resisted the opposite, which it's completely imbalanced. Our bodies have been completely imbalanced. Part of the reason why there's so many things happening to the body is because now the body is feeling at a whole new level the imbalances at a mental, emotional, on the mental, emotional, and energetic and physical, excuse me, and the physical levels in which we exist from. So now the physical body is like changing everything, activating everything, clearing everything, because we can no longer continue to live like that. So allowing yourself to open up to both sides while staying in the middle, staying connected to your breath, because this will allow you to shift more of that judgment out of your own judgment of thinking and believing that this is good and this is bad, when in reality it's all energy. Energy is actually just neutral. The beliefs and the perceptions we have about that energy is what creates the heaviness of it, right? So giving yourself permission to breathe and to go to both sides. Feel both sides of the spectrum. It's really, really important. So the extreme emotional journey. is important to honor. And one of the biggest things that I always say is to make sure to ask your body what it needs in order to go that deep. Okay. Allow yourself to be in a place, in a space, surrounded by the things, by the energies, by the frequencies that will support you the most, so that you can allow yourself to go into the depths of those extremes. Because it's going to be really, really important for you to be continually filled with your light as you go into it. When we talk about extreme, it's like, make sure that you are in a place where where you are supported through that. Right? You might need to move, go outside or be in your bedroom by yourself or whatever the case may be, go into the bathroom or do it. I used to do a lot of that in the shower. When I was visiting my parents and I didn't have a space for me, I was sleeping in the couch, or I was sleeping in the couch, living room or dining room, or wherever I felt comfortable. And so I didn't have a lot of space for me. And so what I would do is I would either go to the bathroom, or when I would be in the shower. So it's like, at least, I can cry deep, go through my deep cleansing, deep cries in the shower, so that I can feel comfortable. Right. And I could just release and just do this without worrying anyone or without anyone, interfering. Sometimes it's an interference, but sometimes it's not. So this is why it's so important to continually tune in, breathe, feel what's best and most appropriate in that moment. Always, always, always upon always. So allowing extreme emotions to flow, either soft trickling water or loud rush of water. Yes, it will be both. Sometimes emotions will just trickle, and sometimes it'll just be the rush. I had this what was it, 2 days ago, where I was feeling a lot of grief, and it just kept pouring and pouring and just crying, like deep, heavy, just. And I knew it was important. I knew my body had to. I knew I needed to just let go and just release all that. And so, yes. So, yes, got it. Feel both sides. Yes, that's the biggest thing. I'm checking the YouTube here. Thanks for joining us here too. That's the biggest thing for every single one of us is going into both sides and feeling this. Part of the reason why we get so stuck in one side, the good, the positive, is because we're too afraid to feel the opposite side. That's where the biggest key is. In fact, the biggest key is for us to feel into everything. Because, and this was my experience too, when you're too on one side, the positive side, it becomes toxic. And that word, that probably is a new word. It's a new word for me. Toxic positivity is what it turns what it can become. It's fake. It's fake. You're putting a facade because that's what we think we needed to do, and we always needed to be happy or smiling and be nice and all of these different things, when in reality we've been suppressing so much inside. The anger, the sadness, the grief, the confusion, and all we've done is put a pretty face and a pretty smile. That that the energy that we've suppressed starts to come out. The energy, the emotional heaviness starts to come out and starts to be felt even through our smiling positivity. And that becomes toxic. And for us, so that was a very big one for me to open up to and admit and own that's what I had become. Completely and totally out of balance and completely and totally fake and just, pretending and just, going out into the world, making it seem like I was this and making it seem like I was okay and making it seem like all was good. But boy, oh boy, so much inside of me, so much heaviness, so much darkness, so much unconsciousness, so much of this and so much of that. It takes years. And it doesn't take years. This is a forever. This is a forever journey. We will continue to open up more and more to ourselves. We will continue to open up more and more and more and more to all that we've been suppressing, all of those aspects that have been hidden, have been closed off, have been buried, have been killed, have been all of these different things that we've been separated from them so that we can finally come back to unity, finally come back to the space of this is what it starts to become as I've experienced it. You start to see and you start to feel that everything and everyone around you is you. There is no longer a separation that keeps you from feeling. You will start to open up to deeper levels of this. This person, this, whatever. This person, this reality, this thing that I hate is inside of me. I hold that frequency, which is the only reason why it's in my reality. If it's not in your reality, it's not inside, it's not in your frequency, then you wouldn't even be conscious of it. But if you see it, if it's in your reality, if it's in your world, then at some level, you have the exact same frequency match to that person, that thing, that reality. It's just how this works. It's all energy. And in order for something to become physical, it has to match a frequency that's already inside of you. So what do? We open up. I'm ready to feel this inside of me. I'm ready to know more about what this aspect is, what this aspect needs. What are the emotions? What's going on? Where is it in my body? Where is it stuck? Is it my heart? Is it my stomach? We are coming back to consciousness, full consciousness. This means knowing so much more, seeing so much more than before. And we're no longer scared. However, I still have to work through and I would still have to go through aspects that are so scared of seeing things, are so scared of feeling things, are so scared of freedom. Because seeing is freedom. Consciousness is freedom. Anything else is not. And so working through like, okay, I'm ready to see more. I'm ready to feel more. I'm ready to be more. And it's a whole process. It takes so much, but taking those steps little by little by little opens your world so much, and allowing yourself to see how much it opens up, and allowing yourself to see and anchor into the beauty, into the magic, gives you the strength, gives you the hope, gives you the energy to keep going. So coming into an hour and a half, that probably might be what I'll do here live. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for being here. If you're here live on YouTube, I am now checking to see if anything else comes through. Thank you for you guys that are here on the Zoom as well. I felt this was important. I felt it was important for me to share this publicly. What I mentioned earlier is if anyone does want to come to the second part, we'll be diving deeper into specifics. So right now, like before the second session starts, if you would like to join us, this is an exercise to do, to play with. The duality line, and choose one thing and then just write as much as possible, and then take yourself into the polarity line, polarity effect, and then write as much as possible. And we will go through some of those things in the second portion. What I want to play with is I want to play with this as well throughout the week. So throughout the week, we'll be doing this portion of the exercise and then doing the clearing meditation at the end. And so I'll be playing with that, mixing the two exercises, or mixing the exercise into the meditation. And so if anybody would like to join us for the meditations to end the second part, I did put the link somewhere. If you would like to just join the second portion, you are more than welcome to do that as well. I'll be opening up that part for a discount. And so it'll just be $25 for those that would like to join in. Let me just share oh, there it is, link again for anybody that would like to feel into it. If not, it's perfect. This is enough for you to play with. This is enough for you to start opening up to it, right? If anybody would like to more personal one-on-one support, I'm here. I am available for private sessions too. That is where we go even deeper, right? But in the meditations, we also do that too. It's in a group setting, and it definitely does support. Oh, sorry, 8. It's 6 my time, 8 your time. So it's 8 p.m. Eastern. Yes, later. Thank you for that. So the second session. Oh, ha 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 ha. That's me. That's too funny. That is me. Escuela de mí, that's me, by the way. That's so funny. I didn't realize oops. I don't know if you can click. That's too funny. I'll just put it here. Is above. And then the second session is at, I'm going to put Pacific time. and Eastern time. And I believe Australian time is 11, I think. Let me see if it's in the I shared it in Patreon. And so if you would like to be notified and see more of what I offer, you're welcome to join the Patreon as well. Boop. Check your time zones. I can't find it right now. So it's 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern. So that will be the second portion. That's when we'll dive deeper into. I will be taking your examples, like whatever you guys wrote, and we'll be diving deeper into that because there's so much. This is quantum because everything that you write, you can take it as its own theme and then expand with that just one theme into the four directions, into both the polarity and the duality side of it. So you see how this is just a never ending. Everything can be seen from multiple lenses. Everything has to be felt from multiple lenses. Everything has to be felt from different aspects. You have to be open to feeling the complete opposite aspects of yourself in everything everything that you say, everything that you think, everything that you do, because you will always have that polarity effect. The polarity effect means that there's always going to be polar opposites to everything. This goes outside of the duality judgment line. This is about recognizing that we are multifaceted and that we are multidimensional, meaning that we are composed of many different aspects and versions of ourselves. Period. This will always be because we're energy. And so we have to open up to everything from different angles, from different points of view, from different perspectives, from different perceptions, right? All of these different things. And allow more energy to flow. The more you see, the more energy flows. The more energy flows, the more you're going to need to feel the emotional attachment, the emotional heaviness, the emotional distortions of everything, so that you can utilize, so that you can start to expand from all directions. Right? So we are this infinite bubble. We are this infinite light. We are meant to continually expand as one. We are continually meant to see more than before. We are going to continually have to, it's not a choice anymore, to feel from different points, from different aspects, from all sides of the stories, from all levels, to continually bring through more light and continually shift into where we're going, right? It's a new, more conscious world. And it all starts with us. It starts with me. It starts with you. It starts with it starts individually. That's how it grows collectively. And then it grows massively, planetary, universally. And so if you guys don't have anything else, I'm gonna bid goodbye. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. So much love. I'll see you, whoever is going to make it to the next session. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone that was here, whoever's still here, whoever is watching the replay, thank you for being open to this. Thank you for receiving this. And I'll see you guys when I see you. Take care.